Hi, this is Dee at Aloha Astro. We're looking at a new moon in Aries today and tomorrow, and it really depends upon what your time zone is. It occurs on April 1st at 2:25 in the morning Eastern Daylight Time, but in some places it's already occurred, so that's why I've kind of lumped the 2 days together. It feels like a new moon already. Definitely that energy of kind of going within and sitting in that dark to germinate a new beginning is coming up. And let's take a look at the forecast that I have written for this new moon in Aries. So the new moon occurs, as I mentioned, at 2:25 a.m. Eastern Time, April 1st. It will be at 11 degrees 31 minutes of Aries. New moon in Aries, Thursday and Friday, March 31st and April 1st, offers you the opportunity to experience a baptism by fire if you are seeking greater self-mastery and understanding of the workings of the universe, as the moon joins both Mercury and the Sun in Aries, forming a sextile with Mars, Saturn, and Venus in Aquarius. Even if you are not actively seeking more self-assurance or wisdom, unexpected events could occur which will require you to stand on your own, get smart quick, or improvise on the spot. You may learn things about someone you were totally oblivious to before, not because they were hiding anything, but because you were not able to perceive and comprehend. New people or teachings you encounter now could stimulate and excite you so much because you have a sense of familiarity and common bond that you may attribute to reincarnation or past life association, while Pluto in Capricorn forms a sextile to Jupiter conjunct Neptune in Pisces, as well as the moon in the earlier degrees of Aries on Thursday. Expect to hear or say, "Do I know you?" or "Have we met before?" Aries is the cardinal fire sign, which says "I am," is ruled by Mars, and belongs to the first house of self in the natal chart wheel. No matter what house area of life this new moon visits within your own natal chart, you could take those house matters personally, and perhaps you should, if it is time for assertion, action, or initiation. If you have been waiting for the right time to begin something new or make a major change in your life, this new moon in Aries encourages the declaration and presentation of self, while the Aquarius planets bless you with ingenuity and the desire to express your individuality so that you, in turn, can bless others with your unique talents and knowledge. So why wait any longer? Get started now. So let's take a look at the planets, and this is for the exact moment of that new moon using Eastern time zone location. And we've got the sextile that's going on earlier will eventually become a semi-square, but we still have a lot of, I would say, facilitation of your higher thought powers, as we have Mercury and the Sun in Aries, with the moon, of course, interacting with Mars, Saturn, and Venus in Aquarius. And these two signs actually, in general, as sun signs go, get along well. Both are quick thinkers and very impulsive, so your own impulsive energy or your ability to think logically, rationally, make impulse decisions is heightened right now, while we have a lot of emphasis on Aries and on Aquarius. Now, in terms of relationship, there can be a lot of aha moments with both of these signs being active, and planets that do have to do with relating, Venus and Mars, along with Saturn, which is a planet of duty, responsibility, seriousness, commitment. I don't know if you're going to be becoming more serious about going into a relationship, or realizing that you need a little time and space, or that you need to be off by yourself. And that doesn't necessarily mean that a relationship would be ending, but sometimes people do need to be by themselves in order to grow and develop, and it always gives the opportunity for something new to enter into the relationship when people allow each other to have that independence and to grow. We also have strong Uranian energy going on, and that's the ruler of Aquarius. It's been in Taurus and will continue to be in Taurus for a while. It's squaring Mars conjunct Saturn and Venus. So there can be further strong impulsive energy to change things, especially with little regard perhaps to what might be lost. Taurus energy is concerned with values, money, material possessions, stability, security. Taurus is the fixed earth sign that says, I have. So maybe there's less of a fear of losing something and more of a willingness to take a risk that comes out of this square. Now, I do not have aspects toggled onto the lunar nodes, but I can tell just by the numbers here that we have the North Node making a trine to Pluto in Capricorn, and this can increase some of the intensity, seriousness of focusing on your path or purpose, or perhaps something that feels very fated, destined, or karmic in some way. Some lesson being brought to bear can come about. Pluto is a planet of power, control, intensity, crisis, upheaval, transformation, resurrection, and it is in Capricorn, which has to do with mastery and authority. So potentially, the way I see this new moon, as we have the cardinal energy of Aries, and cardinal means boss-like, as well as the cardinal energy here of Pluto in Capricorn, stepping into more of your own power, or realizing that you are a part of something that is bigger and more powerful, and that it expresses through you. We have some of that spirituality and divine energy coming through the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces, interacting with Pluto as well, which can basically put you in awe of the power that is accessible to you, the power that is within yourself, as well as other powers such as the force of nature. I would say the power of your will. Pluto is very much a planet of will and determination. And we have the energy of growth, optimism, faith, inspiration, all bound up together here in Pisces. So anything is indeed possible or can be overcome, surmounted, and you may have greater reserves of power than you are aware of that you can tap into if you do spend some time in that exploration on a spiritual level. And we do have a bull chart pattern where everything's lined up, boom, 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 one right after the other through Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus. And the two planets that sit at the edges of the bull are going to have a lot of importance overall. So we have the planet of change, uniqueness, individuality, how you may see the world differently, genius, and uniqueness. Then we have Pluto, which is the planet of the power transformation that is accessible to you. So do be prepared for new beginnings and changes. And of course, every new moon brings that potential, but this one brings it even more so. It's amplified because we are looking at a new moon that's very much in alignment with the thought process, the idea of caring for yourself or needing to, and the willingness for change and transformation that is here through the other nearby planets. And a bull always brings a locomotive of energy that drives the edges of the bowl. So get prepared, go ahead, make that change, take that action. Don't be afraid. Maybe you will fail, but most likely you will succeed. Definitely you will learn and gain from the experience, and possibly you may discover talents and strengths you did not know were within you, things that you had no knowledge or awareness of. Basically, an upgrade in energy is possible now if you're really wanting to, kind of like going and sitting with a guru. It isn't necessarily that the guru is telling you anything new or different, but just by being in the presence of a guru who's achieved enlightenment and is vibrating at a higher frequency, that energy can shift the entire room full of people who are there to listen to the guru and meditate with the guru. So basically tune in to the higher power that's accessible to you now and align with it, and your own vibration will increase as well. Let's take a look at the Sabian symbol for the new moon. So we round up to 12 degrees, a triangularly shaped flight of wild geese. Keynote, an idealistic reliance upon a mental image of universal order. The wild goose is the mystical bird, Hamsa, of Hindu tradition. This word, which has recurred in various cultures, the Hansa League of Germanic cities in the late Middle Ages, and El Hansa, the founder of the occult brotherhood in the Druzes in Lebanon during the era of the Crusades, has always had at least an undertone of integration at an expansionistic level, spiritual or economic. The Hindu Hamsa was the symbol of man's transcendent soul. What previous interpretations of this Sabian symbol have failed to grasp is that the flight of geese presents not only a remarkably geometrical V shape moving through the sky, but also that this flight is seasonal and therefore attuned to planetary rhythms. Thus, it symbolizes cosmic order. Well, that's interesting. If you consider now in the spring, at least in my part of the world, we have birds migrating back, coming back, returning after the winter. In contrast with the social political order within a nation, which is represented by its ruler. It is order made visual on the background of the clear sky. It is a celestial type of order, even though it is earth-born birds, which reveal it by their ability to keep their flight structured. The symbol, therefore, refers to the soul consciousness as visualized by the heaven-oriented mind. Yet this soul consciousness can be called transcendent because it has not yet become incarnated. Because this is a second stage in the third fivefold sequence begun with phase 11, we have to consider what it pictures in contrast to the preceding symbol. A basic dualism of consciousness is thus suggested. We see arising a potential conflict between cosmic and social principles of order. The principle of cosmic order polarizes the all-too-human reliance on the social concept of law and order. Interesting. Well, one reason why I chose the picture today, I never look at the Sabian symbol until just now when I pull it up, the interconnectedness of everything, and I love the starry background here, and I think this is probably the yin, dark, feminine principle, and the moon, of course, that's a symbol of the new moon, and the arachnid, the spider, really spoke to me of the Plutonian energy that's present right now that can transform us. And of course the Aries fire energy. And here we have a yogic position of, I believe, bringing heaven to earth, or connecting heaven and earth. So we do have that starry sky up there. We have the web of life connecting everything and everybody, the unified field of consciousness. And then we have a spider is always a very interesting symbol to me, with its 8 legs, and it's different than anything else. It's kind of its own thing, and I believe it is the oldest, possibly the oldest living creature that's survived. I can't really verify that, but I think I read that somewhere. I'll have to go Googling and find out if that is indeed true. But consider the ancient wisdom associated, especially with certain Native American tribes and other cultures, with the spider. So whether you're seeking it or whether it comes to you, I have the feeling that this new moon is going to raise you up a level. And it isn't always comfortable when we go through shifts and changes. If you go within and sit with it and focus on aligning with a higher vibration, or recalibrating and adjusting yourself to the changes that are coming into your life, being open and accepting, then it's going to be easier for you as you go through those changes, and potentially you tap into more of your own inner power. But do stay safe, and I will see you next time in 2 weeks when we're looking at a full moon. Take care.